up, YouTube? My name is Matt. Welcome to my jungle. Today is Sunday, and I thought we would talk about snake plants. But before we get started, that's better. So here's my snake collection. They live all throughout our house. I have a few of them here that live in the jungle with south-facing windows, and then rest of them live elsewhere with either north-facing windows or just ambient lighting. This guy was a propagation. He lives here in the jungle, so he gets lots of light. So this guy requires more watering. And if you're ever unsure, you can actually look at your plant and they may even look a little distressed or a little like they're getting a little wrinkled. That could be a good sign that your plant is thirsty and you should give it a good drink. This guy's my very first snake plant. He lives in our bathroom right beside our sink. He gets no actual real natural light. It's all just from the LED lights above. This guy hasn't really shown off any new growth over the last couple of years. I'm fully okay with that. He's a good size for our little bathroom. When I first got into plants, I was really obsessed with looking at roots and how they develop. So I put this guy in a glass jar. Obviously there's no drainage. I have clay pellets, I have charcoal, and some bark down at the bottom. This guy right in front of me was a rescue. I rescued him from a big box store. Literally $5 for a 10-inch pot. Plant looked amazing, but apparently it wasn't up to their standards, so I snagged him, brought him home, took him out of the pot, loosened up all the soil, and I decided I wanted to plant him in a few different pots. And in the midst of doing so, I chopped him off. I just literally put them in a Old Spice jar. Within a few months I had all these roots, and I actually, while pulling it out, just broke off the new growth. This is a brand new plant coming off of it. It still has roots on it, so I'm literally just gonna stick it back in the jar, put some water in it, and see what happens. I'll keep you guys updated. This guy was actually propagated in the jungle room, so there's tons of natural light, whereas this guy was actually put in water before the other one, but lives in an area where it gets just ambient lighting from the ceiling lights. And as you can see, not a lot of root development, but roots nonetheless. There is a spot right here that new leaves are actually coming out. I like when I'm propagating plants, I like to get a few different cuttings and then put them throughout the house, different environments, just to see what works better and what doesn't. If you are ever wanting to divide your plant, let's say it gets too big for your pot like this one is. This guy was a rescue, so it looks a little sad. You can either literally just cut those pieces off. No. I think you can hear my son in the background. You could also just take it out of the pot. If you see right there, you can literally just break this piece off gently. If there's some roots in it, you could just put it in some soil, water it well, or just put it in a vessel with water and just let the roots develop. I also have had a few times where I would cut a leaf off and stick it in some water right after, and then have it just rot while sitting in the water. Don't feel bad. It happens to the best of us. When I propagate, I try and take multiple cuttings just in case one doesn't really thrive or is not very successful. I have backups. So you can also try just cutting off your frond, letting it sit for a few days, let the cut wound callus over, and then stick it in water. So these plants are actually now classified in the Dracaena family and not so much of the Sansevieria. These plants are known as the Dracaena trifasciata. So when it comes to care for these snakes, they can live in just about any type of light. Any household humidity will do. So when it comes to watering, I don't water them all that frequently. So it all depends on how much light your plant gets. So my plants that live here in my jungle room with south-facing windows and an east-facing window, they require a lot more water. Whereas my plants that live in other parts of my house with north-facing windows or just ambient lighting require a lot less watering. Alright YouTube, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We got new videos coming out every single Friday. If you guys have a topic or a plant you want me to cover, let me know down below in the comments. We're also on Instagram at Sol2Planco. Thanks for hanging out.